bring this service together, Brotherhood for ushering, Sisterhood for sponsoring tonight's ONIG, the members of our ritual and security committees, office volunteers, those who man the tables and the lanyard board in the lobby this evening, those who set up this afternoon, and I guess anybody else who I have failed to mention. But I want to, before we even start the service, a special thank you to Rabbi Benson, his wife Susan for giving him up during these 10 days, plus because of the preparation involved, and of course the choir who always enhances our service during the High Holy Days. Shana Tova Tikatiki.
Our service begins on page 17. As we begin, I want to remind you, as in years past, there are revised editions of our Machzor, our High Holy Day prayer book, and there are some small changes between them. Some talk about our sovereign, some call it our king, and so certain sex connections, well, they didn't want to say our king, so it became our sovereign, and so in scrubbing some of the paternal statements, there's two different versions of the book. I'm sure that I have one that probably half of you don't, and the other half do. So I'm going to be right 50% of the time, which is a good thing. So please, if that happens while we're going through the holidays this week and next, please just don't focus on it. Let's just take it, because we don't have 250 the same book. Having said that, on page 17, we call out Marianne Folk and Bel Seidel.
Creator of beginnings, as you created the world on this day, uniting fragments into a universe. So help unite our hearts and the hearts of all Jews to serve you. Illumine our lives with the light of your Torah, for by your light do we see light. Grant us this year a glimpse of the light of redemption, the light of healing and of peace. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yeshanu v'tzivanu v'tzivanu b'chad v'kner shel yom tov.
Blessed is the Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvah and commands us to kindle the lights of Yom Tov.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Evion, V'Kiyomanu, V'Hiyanu, V'Asman, V'Aseh.
Blessed is the Lord our God, ruler of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this season.
Amen.
Behold me of little merit, trembling and afraid, as I stand before you to plead for your people Israel. O gracious God, the one enthroned by Israel's praises, compassionate and loving, accept my petition and that of my people. Let them not be put to shame because of me, nor I because of them. Sinners though we are, let our prayers come before you innocent and sweet and pleasing, as though from hearts more worthy than ours. O God, supreme God of every age, God eternal, let my prayer find favor for the sake of the righteous, the loyal, the honest, and upright, and for the sake of your own glorious purpose on earth. For you are the one who in mercy hears our prayer. Blessed are you, who hearkens to prayer. Ki ata shomeya virat amcha Yisrael v'rachamim Baruch atah shomeya
page 21. Father, our people, hear our prayer. We who speak are Jews. Remember the bush you kindled once in the desert air years ago on Horeb's lowly sand. The fire you lit to set the centuries aflame. Say to us your endless, perfect name. I've been looking at blank pages for a couple of weeks now, with alternating senses of horror, fear, dread, timing. Here we go again. It's Ma'agal Choser time. Sort of a Jewish version of, hey, it's Miller time. The Talmud defines a Ma'agal Choser as a circle with no end. A traditional wedding ring unbroken with no stones and just a solid wedding band is a perfect example. Been here before. Every year the calendar stops yesterday and refreshes itself today, starting over. It doesn't stop, it doesn't slow down or speed up. The same incessant questions, and yet a requirement of new answers every year. Is this the year we finally start coming up with real, honest action connected to the answers? It's that time again. The time for a marathon of Jewish thinking, dreaming, envisioning, and deciding if words matter. The words we share with ourselves and with God. There is a reason these 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are called the Yamim Noraim, the awesome days, the days of awe. This year, different than other years, I started to wonder how to define the word awe. And I wonder if we do it justice with just a lot of lip service. Awesome, such an overused word these days. I did, however, come to the realization that almost every use of awe, A-W-E, could be used to engage with God, something this generation has a tendency to avoid. For example, my God, that's so awesome. Giving thanks to God for an event or a thing that is steps beyond human creation, or at least human achievement. A response to God illuminating our habitat with a rainbow, or whatever. Wow, you're awesome. In fact, that allows us to recognize that one of God's creations defies the standards of just okay, or normal. It's a way of celebrating the Creator and the creation. I mean, whoever says, wow, you're so average. God did really so the day you were created. We might think it, but never say it. It goes on. Awesome, however, is a constructed word. Awe and some. In this case, awe is a state of being. We are in awe of something in front of us, either spiritually or physically, that causes us moments of reflection. A temporary state during which we are shaken out of our fairly regular state of being. Our ancestors found awe through nature. Humanity begins its recognition of deity and of God through acts and events of nature. Lightning, thunder, rain, all had anthropomorphistic answers assigned to our ancestors. The second half of the word, though, should bring a moment's pause, a deeper thought. Some. Some, by definition, implies not all, but a few, separated from the most, causing that person or event to be discharged from the ignominy of baselessness, just becoming part of the greater whole. I propose the word should really be awe many, as opposed to awe some. Think about that for a second. Awe many, as opposed to awe some. If that were true, we would all aim our lives at the vision of being and acting far more like the unique individuals we are, and less like the group that we are not. God's guidance is for us to review all days, but especially these 10 days, with worth, with value, with vision, with importance, with a sense of awe, to make these days bigger than we are, bigger than the little even boxes on our newly printed calendars, showing us a day after another day. Our birthday. We anticipate gifts, parties, and a day or week of good wishes and joyfulness. As we get older, it seems to contract. It seems to become a smaller and smaller space of time between our special days. The effect, or so it seems, is that time is speeding up. We know, however, that that's not the case. A 24-hour day is, and will always be, 24 hours. No less, no more. I posit tonight that we can insert the concept of awe into a 24-hour day. We can add awesome to a 7-day week, and so on until awesomeness becomes part and parcel of our daily existence. We wake up, have coffee, get dressed, enter the world, and add some caffeinated amazing awesomeness to the day. When none of those things are available to be left off the list, we are steps closer to being the beings God has demanded of us. Therein is the challenge, our challenge, to be the being God has asked us to be. Don't have a great day. Take some responsibility. Carpe diem, seize the day. Make it a good day. That takes some work. It takes and becomes a sincere challenge for us as human beings and as Jews. Bring humanity to each and every day. It owes you nothing. Use our God-given strengths to make it a good day every day. Reach out with a handful of kindness. Share the glorious gifts God has given us. You can have a good day. It takes no effort. All you have to do is breathe. Sit there and allow a day to happen to you. You can if you want. But we're the Jews. The easy way isn't the Jewish way. I don't know why. But it's in the Talmud. The easy way isn't the Jewish way. If you want to see it, go look for yourself. The easy way isn't the Jewish way. Easy was never for the Jews. It's not in our DNA. We're almost incapable of doing anything the easy way.
Over the next 10 days, the Yamim Noraim, make them different. Make every day a great day, not just a good day. God requires more from us than to sit idly by and wait for good things to come. It's easy for us to judge others and claim they are just sitting waiting for everything to be handed to them. And in some cases, that might be true. But that mirror looks both ways. And expecting life to hand us a series of good days isn't actually what God requires of us. Our responsibility is to make amends, to offer and conversely to accept apologies to and from those we have hurt or offended by words or actions. Only in this way can we truly stand before God. God can laugh at humanity, but be sure, God cannot be fooled by nonsense and bobomyces. Set yourself a goal of doing something, each and every day that makes it a good day. Take the mantle of being God's child and look for ways to make a day better. Become one of the some when awe is imagined. Provide awe to our world. Become a human who provides some awe to people's day. When others look to see what the world can give, live each day as an example of kindness, of understanding, of humanness, and of course, being the best Jew you can be, adding to the experience of life for all to see. Become one of the some, adding awe, so that when you come back here in 10 days on Yom Kippur and ask God to forgive you for being human and not fulfilling all the vows made over the last year, and God chooses to allow you to release the vows made, and you realize you have, hopefully, another year inscribed in the book of life come this Yom Kippur, you will have been given the opportunity to make it a good day, week, month, or year. Make it a good 10 days. Make it a good year. Make it a good life. Then truly, you will know the meaning of the phrase, wow, that's awesome. Start tonight. Our 10-day clock has just started. Good Yontif. Nah. Make it an awesome Yontif. We continue on page 23. בחודש השביעי באחד לחודש יהיה לכם שבתון. זיכרון תרועה, מקרא קודש, כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו. In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, there shall be a sacred assembly, a cessation from work, a day of commemoration proclaimed by the sound of the shofar. May you will, eternal our God, God of all generations, that the year 5780 bring to us the whole house of Israel, life and peace,
joy and exultation, redemption and comfort, and let us say, Amen.
There was silence, there was chaos, there was a voice. A mind went forth to form worlds, now order reigns where chaos once held sway. The moon follows accustomed paths, constellations their patterned ways. How unyielding is the will of our people Israel. After the long nights, after the days and years when our ashes blacken the sky, Israel endures, heart still turned to love, soul turning still to life. So day and night, early and late, we will rejoice in study the Torah. We will walk our lives in Torah. Hail our hearts and our hearts. Praise the source of life. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Elohechem. What does it mean to be a Jew? You shall be holy. What does it mean to be a Jew? You shall be a holy people. Holy in our past of redemption from Egyptian bondage. Twice holy in our past are those who gave their lives to hallow this world. And holy are those whose lives are songs in freedom's cause.
May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. May we spread over us the shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, the blessing of rest. There will come a time when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish. There will come a day of happiness, of contentment and peace. Praise be the source of joy within us, for the night and its rest, for the promise of peace.
Yet Gadal Yet Kadash Shemei Rabbah Yalmat Yirachitei V'yamlich Malchutei B'chayechon V'yomechon B'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael Bagalav Isman Karib V'imuru V'yet hadar, v'yet aleh, v'yet halal, Shemei D'Kurishah, Ve'elah, ve'elah, min kol birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata, Christ vertreibt Tag, via iti latefa. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu V'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah Elohei Rachel Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaMara El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tobim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot B'imahot U'mebih Geula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Hoser, Mashiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Bezrat Sarah. Somech noflim, v'rofei cholim, u'matir asurim, u'mekayim imrato, lishnei kol afar.
Oh
on page 32. Lord our God, cause all your works to stand in awe before you, and all that you have made to tremble at your presence. Let all that lives revere you, and all creation turn to you in worship. Let them all become a single family, doing your will with a perfect heart. For well we know, O Lord our God, that yours is the majesty, yours the might, and awesome is your name in all creation. Grant honor, Lord, to your people, glory to those who revere you, hope to those who seek you, and courage to those who trust you. Bless your land with gladness, and your city with joy, and cause the light of redemption to dawn on all who dwell on earth.
On page 34. In love and favor, O God, you have chosen us from all the peoples, hallowing us with your mitzvot. Our sovereign, you have summoned us to your service, that through us your great and holy name may become known in all the earth. In your love, O God, you have given us this day of remembrance, to hear the sound of the shofar, to unite in worship, and to recall the Exodus from Egypt. Our God, and our holy nations, unite for the people to take on this day of remembrance, and renew us love and compassion, goodness, life, and peace. This day remember us for holy name. Amen. This day bless us with your goodness. Amen. This day help us to live. Amen. Our God and God of our ancestors, may you rule in glory over all the earth, and let your grandeur be acclaimed throughout the world. Reveal the splendor of your majesty to all who dwell on earth, that all your works may know you as their maker, and all the living acknowledge you as their creator. Then all who breathe shall say, the sovereign God of Israel is the one whose dominion extends to all creation. Our God, our ancestors, sanctify us with your result, and let your Torah be our way of life. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you with truth. For you, O God, are true, and your word is true forever. Thank you.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu, Ve'al Aleinu V'Tapenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Dever V'Cheder V'Ra'at Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Kalei Kol Tzar U'Mastin Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Kadvenu B'Sefer Chaim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, Harem Kerem Yisrael Amecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Va'anenu Ki En Banu Ma'asim. Aseh Imanu Tzedaka V'Chesed V'Hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Tzamor Aleinu, Ve'adol Aleinu, V'tapeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, This is the part I like right about now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri ha'kavod. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech asher bachar banu mikol ha'am, v'romam lanu mikol ha'shon v'kedishanu b'mitzvotav. V'titem lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahad et yom ha'zikaron hazeh, Yom Teruah Mikra'e Kodesh, Zecher Yetziat Mitzrayim, Ki banu b'char atanu kidashta mikol ha'amim. Baruch ha'emet v'kayam la'ad. Baruch atah Adonai, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael, v'yom hazikaron. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. There is something known in the Talmud. I will be brief and short. There is something in the Talmud called a beracha levatala, a blessing with no purpose. What we used to know as a shanta. Therefore, if you have done the blessing over the wine, you are required, bass baritone when you want to make a statement, required, to share in that which you have blessed over. Therefore, when you go inside to share in our afters, would you please take one of the small cups of wine or grape juice, whichever, and partake. If you don't like either of those, the Talmud still says you have to put enough on your lip so that you can go like that. Because you have stated a blessing, and you now have to fulfill what that blessing is. I have had people for years ask me if I do a blessing over this lottery ticket. No, it doesn't work like that. But as God would say, you don't buy the ticket, you got no choice. As we go forward into these 10 days, I have been speaking with more and more clergy over the last couple of weeks of different faith communities, and finding that we all have the same predicament. We all talk, and we're good at that. But we're talking to God, and we think that God's not listening. We really do. We say all kinds of stuff as if God's kind of hearing, but maybe not. It's okay. So I challenge you this year to do Jew. Don't talk Jew. Don't talk Jewish. Do Jewish. Become a people as we are and should be, of people who do it, not people who talk about it. With respect, you can ask any question. With respect, you can disagree. You can disagree with God. It's part of our tradition. It is part of our tradition to disagree with God. I talk to ministers of other faith communities and they look at me like I'm nuts. And I go, you don't know me well enough to say that. On the other hand, there are a lot of people who do. But that's not really the point, is it? The point really is, they won't even imagine the hubris, or in our case, the Jubris. I'm sorry, I promised myself I wouldn't. But I did. Yeah, we'll see next week if God was listening. I promised myself that I actually would start to really fight the battle to do Jew, to doish Jewish, once a day. We talked about it in the past couple of years. We talked about do one mitzvah, big, small, big, small, big, small. We had a president, not so many years ago, this is not a political statement, who was pushed to give an answer. And he said, and I would like to explain that me and you, biggish or smallish, whichever you pick, every day, every day, do Jewish. Find one thing. If you start to look for it, you'll find it. You will see what you seek. And if you find it and do it, guess what? Tomorrow it's not so hard. It's a habit. Oh gosh, a habit of doing good stuff. Look what we could change. But not what we could change. Change the pronoun. Look what I can change. Look what you can change. It doesn't take a whole lot to just care a little bit. They say doing little things is not a big deal. They don't know what they're talking about. A little thing can be an extraordinarily big deal. Make it so. With that, I was brief and short. Yes, I was. You chuckle at me, I got the microphone in Yom Kippur's, it'd be a long day. You see, even in the moments of solemnity, is that a real word? I've got a professional writer in the front row who's like editing his own speaking. So, you can smile, you can have lightness while you make serious and sincere commitments. And that's what the minister and I talked about today. There's nothing you can ask or do that if you add respect as the paint job to it, it won't help and move us forward. We are now going to move to conclude this service as we turn to page 43. As we call Toby and Lydia Bell, who already knew that. Aleinu l'shameach l'tov ha'kol, v'teinu l'aliot zer b'reishit, shelo esam ha'atzot, v'lo esam ha'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo esam ha'kein kaihem, v'gor aleinu kivol ha'monam, v'anavnu gorim, v'mishpachadim u'modim, v'fenet You spread out the heavens and establish the earth. You are our God, there is none else. In truth, you alone are our ruler, as it is written. Know then this day and take it to heart. The Eternal One is God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else. We therefore hope, eternal God. joy of their companionship. We feel a pang, the echo of that intenser grief when first their death lay before our stricken eyes. Now we know that they will never vanish so long as heart and thought remain with us. By love are they remembered, and in memory they lived. O God, grant that their memory may bring strength and blessing. May the nobility in their lives and the high ideals they cherished endure in our thoughts and live on in our deeds. May we, carrying on their work, help to redeem your promise that life shall yet prevail. Page 45. Yet gadal yitkash she'ara, ve'amad yivachute, v'michmachute, v'ayechol yomecho, v'chayechol beit Yisrael, v'alav z'manei v'ruchmei, v'yishmei rav v'barach, v'alav lo me'amayam, Yitvarach v'yishtabach, v'yitva'ar v'yitvaram v'yitnaseh, Yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalav shmei v'kutsha v'yifu, V'kol v'yilchata v'shirata, v'shirata v'yamata, v'yamata v'yamata v'yamata, Yehei Shlomo Rabba bin Shemaiah, V'chayim Aleinu v'yalkol Yisrael v'yimeru amen, Oseh Shalom v'yamroma, We are Shalom. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Our closing hymn tonight is something you may have heard before. It is the last three and four lines of the Adon Olam. It starts with the last line, Adonai Li. Below Irah, Adonai is mine, I am not afraid. Hoshana, on this New Year's, remember, you are the eternal God who reigned before any being had ever been created. When all was done according to your will, already then you were sovereign. May we always remember that we do have God as our guide, God on our side. But God is our side as our partner, walking this journey together, not there to push us through. Let us become partners, succeed together. Good Yom Tov.